Sam Baxter, Assistant City Manager, thanks for joining us tonight.
My pleasure.
So when your department sits down and looks at the budget, how do you prioritize where your energy and the funds will go?
I have three divisions that basically report directly to me. They're the Public Information Office, Legal Services, and Strategic Initiatives. So each one of those divisions prepares basically goals, their mission statement for the 2-year budget, and the associated funding then, if you will, follows those goals, that their work plan. So each division sets their priorities. Those priorities then become mine. In addition, the Assistant City Manager, I also kind of make sure that we're delivering efficient and effective services throughout the organization, that we're true to our mission statement and our core values, and that we're here to serve our constituency. That can be visitors to West Hollywood, our residents, and our businesses. So all of those aspects basically come together within the city manager's department, and that's how we set our priorities when it comes to the budget process.
And how do you get everyone's input, if it be the residents, visitors, council members? How do you congeal all of those ideas and really make them one that allows you to set realistic goals?
It can be challenging at times, but our primary focus is providing services to the public. And from various commissions and boards, through the budget fair that we're having this evening to get public input and comments, there will be more opportunities. There's an online survey, and there's opportunities through social media, as well as coming to the budget fair to begin to gather those kind of comments, and priorities begin to emerge out of these mechanisms. And those become initiatives and programs. And we set those priorities basically up through the organization. Then we take them to council, and council then gives input to us on those programs and initiatives. So our budget begins July 1st. So here we are, 1st of April, and we're beginning that process. So it doesn't happen overnight. It does take some time, but there's also a process in place so that we can capture the information we need to be able to bring our programs and initiatives forward.
And you mentioned tonight's event, the budget fair, inviting the community to talk about the budget. Why is it important for residents and business owners to care?
What we do here in the city is that we provide services, and those services are provided to residents and our businesses as well as our visitors. So from our perspective, it's important for us to hear what their priorities are, and that we want to provide those opportunities so we can receive that input. And at tonight's budget fair, basically every single division and department in the city is representative. We have many staff at each table, so that there's an opportunities for engagement, for the community to learn more of the services that we provide and put faces to a lot of our programs and initiatives.
Is there anything that you're personally excited about that's on the horizon for the next 2 years?
Probably the most exciting for me now is two major projects we're undertaking. One is the automated parking structure, which is under construction now. It's a great project. It will provide much needed parking for the mid-city area. In addition to that, we're beginning the design process for the West Hollywood Park Phase 2 project, which will basically complete the West Hollywood Park Master Plan. So we're looking at a gymnasium, a new swimming pool to replace the existing auditorium and the existing swimming pool, and basically builds out the remainder of the park in accordance to the master plan. So those are two major projects that, when they're completed, will provide much needed resources and services for the community.
And it sounds like everything's tailored to improving the quality of life for the residents and the community. And a topic that's come up a lot tonight is technology, the automated parking garage being a very good example of it. Is there any other areas that you see technology lending itself to and improving the quality of life even more for residents?
There's a lot of opportunities that we haven't delved into. You know, we have a innovative catalyst group that it basically is an internal working group on new technologies that other governmental agencies are either considering or have implemented. But I think you'll see in the next few months there'll be some broadening of those efforts so that we can be more community based. We're putting together potentially a task force. There's an item on a future council agenda that really is giving direction to the city manager to create a task force to implement more creative technology throughout the community. So that'll be interesting. It'll go beyond just, you know, providing Wi-Fi, let's say, in the parks, but it's truly, you know, these cutting edge technologies that are out there that we will be taking more advantage of.
And going back to the budget for a second, the city of West Hollywood is doing very well. It's a financially stable city, especially compared to other cities in the state. Why do you think the city has done so well for itself?
We've always lived within our means. We have a very strong tax base that doesn't rely on one single source. You'll see some communities that they'll have a nice large auto mall. Well, when cars don't sell, that tax base disappears, and that's when they you know, really feel the effects. But our tax base is very spread. It's for the most part consistent, and we have kept the city, the civic side of things, or the city hall staffing levels, programs, we've kept them within our budget. We haven't used discretionary money, let's say, to hire additional people, and when that discretionary money goes away, then we're having to lay people off. So we've been very fortunate in being able to keep a strong, steady group of dedicated employees, and who's able then in turn to provide consistent services to the public without having to do, you know, we tightened our belts, but we haven't had to do any major cutbacks or layoffs or, you know, cutting back on social service programs. In fact, we've increased funding to our social service programs. But again, we just, for the most part, have just lived within our means.
Well, thank you so much, Sam, for joining us. Appreciate all the information.
My pleasure. Thanks.